This is Townsquare Sunday on 1420 WBSM, the place where people come together to talk about the good things happening in and around New Bedford.
Come together right now. Oh.
And now, the moderator of Townsquare Sunday, Jim Phillips.
And welcome, everyone. You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. Each week we highlight people and organizations in our community that are improving the quality of life for all of us here on the South Coast. I'm your host, Jim Phillips. Dr. Michael Rocha is a cardiac doctor with Hawthorne Medical Associates. We refer to him as New Bedford's doctor, given all the things he's involved with to help people stay healthier and stay healthy and get healthier. So welcome, Dr. Rocha.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Our first visit here in 2019. It's that time of the year when people make New Year's resolutions and mostly self-improvement steps, hopefully, to make them healthier or make them a better person or maybe more wealthy person or a calmer person. There's all kinds of reasons why people make New Year's resolutions. People are generally serious about these resolutions when they make them, but sadly, most are left by the wayside as the year goes on. We were talking before we turned on the microphones here. It's not long before they go by the wayside.
Yeah, I saw information that by January 10th, most people stopped on their resolutions, and only 8% of people actually follow through, I saw. So it's good intentions have to be turned into action sometimes.
Absolutely. Is there anything wrong with making these resolutions? I mean, I can't find much wrong with making the resolutions. It's the problem of not carrying through that you tend to become perhaps disappointed in yourself.
Yeah, I think that sometimes people maybe are either too vague in terms of what they're trying to accomplish, and they may be working towards things that may not be attainable. And I think that it's important to make things attainable, something that they can stick with. And I think that unfortunately sometimes everybody wants to look like a model, perhaps, and that may not be an attainable goal, right? So,
should our goal be really to take? I think you've mentioned this. I'm using different words here, but to take smaller steps, create more achievable goals. Look at the resolutions after 3 or 4 months and say, maybe I've got to tweak this or twist that in order to make it more achievable.
Yeah, I think that having some accountability is important. It was interesting that there's a weekly kind of Healthy Monday because people have looked at, I think it's Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health has been looking at, what days of the week, for example, might be a good day to make a change. And I think that they're trying to do smaller things, trying to encourage people to maybe make one habit change for the week. But I think that people need to make, again, what are people trying to achieve? I've kind of changed the conversation even in my office. It's not about really weight loss. It's about eating healthy. The weight comes off afterwards. And things like exercise, it should be more about how do you like to move your body? So, we sometimes get ourselves thinking about these things being chores or what we're trying to accomplish. And if we just look at it slightly differently, we might be able to kind of stick with it and not be so disappointed by what we're trying to achieve.
So like most things in life, really, New Year's resolutions are kind of mental. It's a mental adjustment that you have to make, I think. And believe me, I'm no expert. A lot of folks want to lose weight. That's the number one target or goal that people have when they start a new year. And you've suggested how we might want to approach that. I mean, it's really a plan of not going crazy, not beating yourself up, not going to the gym twice a day. There might be some people who can do that. Certainly I'm not one of them, but what's the best way to do it?
Well, I think that actually what you said, the psychological aspect is really important.
Yeah.
And I think that my friend and also high school classmate Laurie Santos has a wonderful course and also a wonderful app called Rewhy. And it kind of holds people accountable for different changes and specific things. So it might say, going to change your diet, going to exercise more, sleep, connections. And I think that one of the things that happens too is that when people are connected to one another or holding people accountable, they may be more able to stick with the changes that they're looking. So if somebody else is trying to do it with you, so to speak, is a good way to try to approach these things. So I think the psychological aspect of things is very, very important. And also what happens too is we become far too judgmental. Oh, we fell down a little bit, so to speak, at the beginning, but it's really that constant coming back and being kind to yourself. I think some people are too tough on themselves a lot of times, and that's one of the reasons that they're not able to stick with things, because they're judging themselves all the time.
Do you have a New Year's resolution, Doc? Do you make them?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Again, keeping in mind, there's certain things that we all can work on, and I think that it's continuing, within that journey of the things that I'm already trying to work on. Nobody's perfect at everything, and just trying to make small incremental changes to things is probably what I'm still continuing to work on.
People hear the word exercise, and some folks just say, "Oh, no, I can't do it." But you're not talking about, again, the twice daily gym routine. You're talking about small incremental things that if you do them on a fairly consistent basis, you'll see some results and you'll feel better. 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day.
Yep. And it doesn't have to be all together. Just simply walking. This time of year is a little tough for people because of the weather. Maybe over the next 2 months it might be a little cold, a little icy. But mall walking is great because people can walk for 5 minutes, take a break, sit at one of the at some of the chairs and the benches that they have there, and then keep going. And I think that sometimes what we keep in our mind is exercise is something that that's that chore I have to do. Well, it shouldn't be a chore. Simply just parking a little further, taking the stairs. All these things add up. 5 minutes here, 4 minutes there, and before you know it, again, it makes us a significant and sustainable change, and it becomes incorporated into what our habits are. And I think what we're trying to do is to change what our habits are.
Now, some folks have an easy remedy for losing weight. They say, well, eat less. Well, that is an interesting concept. I know you as a medical person would say eat right.
Yeah, it's absolutely about eating right.
Yeah.
And I think that what we have to realize is the quality of our diet, really does make a difference. And, eating whole foods, if we all ate more whole foods, it would be a good place to start.
You say whole food, what do you mean?
So single ingredient things, things that don't have a package in a lot of ways. So, I think that we've gotten away from, eating what our grandparents and our great-grandparents would consider real food. And I think that if we could eat more vegetables and fruits, nuts, and if we could eat, things that don't come in a package, so to speak, we'd be better off.
You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. I'm Jim Phillips. My guest is Dr. Michael Rocha of Hawthorne Medical Associates. I don't know if you're the creator of New Bedford Wellness Initiatives. You may be. One of the creators.
It started as a walk. I'm very fortunate now. We have a co-director, Julie Foston, who does some really incredible work. She's really been great on moving things ahead. But yes, the wellness initiative started simply as a walk around Buttonwood Park in 2014, and here it is, 2019. Wow,
5 years.
5 years.
And you have this ongoing program every Sunday morning.
Yep.
At the New Bedford Boys and Girls Club. Tell us about that. For those who are unaware, tell us about it.
Okay. And also Saturdays we walk the malls 9 o'clock. So we're still, every Saturday, there's a doctor there, so walk with a doc. There's always somebody to answer questions. But Sundays, we've changed our times from 9 to 1. We're at the Boys and Girls Club. Once a month, we have the health van that's there to do immunizations, smoking cessation, various other health-related activities. So the South Coast Wellness Van is there. We've expanded our programming. We now have an aerobics or a cardio class that starts our day, mindfulness or meditation class. We're still doing yoga. We rotate our instructors every 4 weeks. We've got a Qigong class. So Steve and Marsha Rath, who are really fantastic, have been, we've had a nice group of about 10, 15 people that have been coming every week to do the the Qigong, and we've also have the nutrition class. And, a lot of times now we're posting, most of our stuff is through Facebook. New Bedford Wellness Initiative also has a web page, but it's easiest to kind of follow us on our web page, Facebook page and our Facebook group. So we'll post up, various recipes and healthy things. We've expanded to include, we have free massage therapy 3 out of the 4 weeks, I think it is now. And I'm very excited that, over the last year and a half, John Barboza has been doing classes for smoking cessation, and people are really quitting. And it's really been remarkable. We've had as many as 10, 12 people, and his results are really incredible. So we've been very excited to really expand what our programming is. And this year we're actually going to be expanding to some of the programming for the kids at the Boys and Girls Club. There's going to be a Zumba class for the kids. There's going to be mindfulness and yoga for kids, and also for the adults during the week. So we've expanded our program beyond. Sundays is our main base. Saturdays is our walk at the mall. Sundays at the Boys and Girls Club. And, it's free. You don't have to be a New Bedford resident. You just have to be able to get there. And we meet people where they're at. This is about not being judgmental. Wherever people are in their wellness journey, we're here to help them.
All right. So the walk with the docs, that was kind of the walk really around Buttonwood Park was the first thing. The walks with the docs is going to continue, as you mentioned, indoors for the winter at the Dartmouth Mall. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And so tell us about that experience. I know you've enlisted a few doctors to do it. That's great.
Yeah, we've now got 10 doctors. I'm still doing once a month. And we've got doctors from both South Coast, from not just both, but South Coast, the Health Center, Hawthorne, and somebody's there. Usually start our walk off with some health-related topic, and then we kind of take it from there. And we usually do 2 miles. And it was interesting because I had the opportunity. I was in San Diego for the American Public Health Association, and I had the opportunity to speak at the conference about the Walk with a Doc experience, and also. We're part of, I think, 466 different sites throughout the world now, where we've all, we've kind of partnered together. So it's very exciting. It's a movement, right? And that's what it's all about.
Has the doc ever had to care for someone at the walk?
We've had a couple. We actually have had a couple people where we had to just tell them to slow down and keep an eye on it. But otherwise, it's been safe. And again, we're not there to see how fast people can go.
That's right.
And we're also, people don't have to complete the 2 miles. So if you can only do a half a mile, that's fine. We had one gentleman in his 90s that was there walking with his walker. I've had people that have actually pushed their family members in a wheelchair. So we will meet people exactly where they're at and make sure that we keep an eye on it. And that's one of the things the docs, our role is to make sure that, that we're kind of watching out for everybody.
So you've expanded your health initiative program at the Boys and Girls Club. You're going to reach out to youngsters this year, which is a great idea, really, and something that's needed, that we all are concerned about obesity in youngsters. And any other new initiatives?
Well, we're excited. Next month is actually the New Bedford Fitness Challenge, starting on February 2nd. And that's actually not just us, but New Bedford Parks and Recreation, Dartmouth Total Fitness, and I know there's a couple other groups. YMCA is involved in that as well. So we're excited. That'll be, I think this is the 4th year, and it's a 6-week program, and it's a nice kickstart to getting people healthy. And again, doing it in a group and doing it in such a way that we're all pulling for one another. So
all of us can do a little something to get moving. I mean, it doesn't take a great deal of effort. And when you hear the word exercise, you should almost put it out of your mind, I think. You should just go, I'm going to walk now.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to do whatever now. Climb some stairs, whatever.
I had somebody in the office yesterday telling me how she just likes to put the music on and dance around the house, and that works too. And, again, whatever way people move their body, and that's part of the point, too, the wellness program is we keep asking people. We've been surveying people to find out what people want. So if there's certain things out there that people would like to see for new programming, we're willing to try that out as well. And really, again, like you said, it doesn't have to be the kind of idea of where, you go to the gym and you're really beating yourself up. That doesn't have to be what people are doing.
And I think another good tip probably is try to lessen the stress in your life.
Stress is huge, no doubt. It's the driver of a lot. It's how we handle our stress, and like you said, we can actually stress reduction happens with exercise. But a lot of the ways that we deal with our stress can be destructive, and I think that we have to recognize those things and try to do the things to avoid that, and making sure that we take time and balance our lives.
And all very important. So if people want to offer you a tip, say some nice words, have a suggestion for expanding programs, how do they do that? They can go to the Facebook page.
Easiest thing to do is probably message us on Facebook, or you can message us through our website, nbewell.com. And we're pretty quick about responding and listening, and we really look forward to building this to be a bigger program and reach as many people as possible. I think that this time of year is tough. As the weather changes, and some people have some issues with their moods with the seasons changing, and I think one of the best antidotes to that is getting out and being with people.
And certainly the New Bedford Wellness Initiative is one way to do that. Dr. Michael Rocha of Hawthorne Medical Associates, New Bedford's doc, has been my guest. Thanks for the tips and the encouraging words. Townsquare Sunday will continue in just a moment. Thanks again.
Thank you.